Yo, what's going on, people? We're back. Got another league game here, playing against the Browns owner. We're in week 7. I'm 4-2. He's 2-4. Me and the Colts owner still neck and neck for the division. I gotta win to make sure I stay on top. The AFC North isn't really playing well this year, so I mean he's got ground to make up, but he's not out of the division at all just yet. As I get hit with a roughing the passer penalty here. And in the league, a lot of the penalty sliders have been turned up, but really the only penalty that I've seen is roughing the passer. And recently the league kind of just voted they didn't want the roughing the passer thing in, so they voted it to go back to 50, which is, that's whatever, that's what the league want to do. But it just kind of got me thinking, what other ways, like other than going in the league and turning the sliders all the way up to make sure there's actually a penalty, as Cecil Shorts jumps off the press, and yeah, he's gone. There's got to be other ways to try to implement penalties into the game without you having to turn the sliders all the way up to 100 for the chance to actually see one. So I was thinking about some of the ways. Maybe they should have been a pick. Especially with the new defensive line mechanics, should have been a pick. But I'll take the stop. With the new defensive line mechanics, like all you got to do is you get the timing right to hit the button, and your dude will either jump off the block, make a good move against the block, get a good rush. And I mean that's all well and good, but it's made the defensive line work, like, I guess, really easy. I still can't do it. Doesn't work for me. But I guess it's really easy now to just kind of get pressure with the defensive end. And I was thinking like a way that they could kind of implement that in the game to, like, maybe for that, like, if you hit the button too early, maybe your dude will get a hands to the face penalty. Or if you hit the button too late, kind of the same thing, hands to the face. Some kind of penalty interaction there, just to, so you really have to be on point with your timing and what you're doing. As I let Mr. Manziel get loose on me. That was definitely something that I was paying attention to early in the game, but he hadn't really been scrambling with him. He had just been dropping back an extra 10 yards to kind of avoid the pressure. As Chris Clemens gets in there real quick. And, maybe, for offense, if you have something like if you tell your offensive line to play aggressive, so you're trying to get them up to that second level really quick. As he just throws right at my user, real disrespectful, like. And say somebody gets around the edge of the tackle, somebody gets around the tackle, he's playing aggressive. He sees, like, you tell your line to play aggressive, somebody gets around him. He turns around and he grabs the dude to keep him from smacking your quarterback in the head, which I think is a good thing. You get called for the hold. I mean, it's different ways you can kind of implement penalties without having to have the computer play extremely stupid and just having penalties bog down the game. Like, just making people, make the right decisions, pay attention to what you're doing. And it's just, I think it'll just, it'll make the game more realistic, which I think a lot of people really want. I'm not saying they should put a lot of penalties in the game, because, you don't want to be sitting there playing the game forever. As he throws right at my user again, just bad usering by me this whole half, really, on defense. And give up a touchdown. But there's different ways they could kind of implement, penalties in the game, because, they were a pretty big factor in, the real NFL. So I think it would be kind of cool to have different ways to kind of have penalties pop up throughout the game, where it's not, it's not like, I'm not going to say not game breaking, but it just kind of breaks up the momentum of the entire game every single time that a penalty pops up. There has to be a way to put that in there, but I don't know, maybe they'll figure that out eventually. But for this game, going into it, the game plan defensively, obviously, keep an eye on Johnny Manziel and to keep an eye on Jordan Cameron, couldn't get this pass off here. I had a couple guys open. Looking at it again, maybe it was for the best that I didn't get that pass off because, you know, some of those windows were a little tight. So I don't, you know, maybe it was for the best that I got sacked and took 3 points. But the offense has got to get going. I played a little bit conservative in the first half. I noticed that he liked to, you know, he was calling a lot of run commits. Not a lot, but he called enough of them to make me feel like I could take advantage of it at some point in the second half. Bad pass here. That was a terrible pass. But I definitely felt like I could put him in a situation where he would definitely pass commit, and I could take advantage of it at some point to get a big play. And I don't remember exactly when that was, but I do get a pretty nice gain off of a play action run commit, and it pretty much just stops him from doing it for the rest of the game. So that was a good, you know, that was a good look, I guess. And I wasn't doing a very good job of kind of stopping or holding up Jordan Cameron. He'd kind of been doing whatever he wanted to do, running all over the place. I'm not making the user plays. But he had run this play a couple of times, so I know where to go. Just going to stand there and wait for dude to cut across the field. Get my user pick. Tell him to stop disrespecting me. Stop throwing the ball at my face. I don't remember what that play is under. What that play is called. I think it's slot under, with the slot receiver running the drag and the dig route over the top. But he had run it maybe 2 or 3 times before that. I think twice. And both of the times I tried to cut the drag route off. And then I noticed he was never looking for the drag route. He just wanted the dig route over the top. Toby Guerra was going to go ahead and, you know, power his way into the end zone. So we take a 2-position lead. The offense is looking way better than it did in the first half. He's still dropping back. We're still chasing him. I eventually decided to stop blitzing him because it didn't really seem to work. You know, like he was dropping back so far, the pressure just couldn't get there in time. So I decided to just kind of stop blitzing him, play a little bit more coverage. And then my boy, Winston guy, gets himself a pick. And he's going to go ahead and take this one all the way back to the house. Basically put this game away for me. My secondary, I mean, while they still kind of suck. They've been making more plays, especially Winston guy. I'm surprised I didn't get this pick. But obviously, you know, I can't switch. I thought my computer guy was in a really good position to make a play on that ball, but I guess not. And Winston guy is best. He's honestly been my best secondary player for this season. Like he just, excuse me, nope, give me that. I don't know how this ball pops out of there like that, but I'll take it. And he's definitely been a pretty good. Winston guy's been really good for my safety position. Leading my team in tackles, makes plays on the ball. It's nice to have a player like that, even though he has only 82 speed. We walk away with a win, 31-14. Defense really stepped itself up in that second half, and we go ahead and move on to 5-2 in the season.